I'm never truly mad at the pain people cause me and the things that people do towards me, because at the end of the day, what people do, it shows who they truly are, you know? And I feel like also too, like, we all tie into the disrespect, you know, that people have towards us because we allow certain things, and certain things people think it's okay because we just let it slide. And I feel like we all tie into all of these issues, and that's why I truly never blame one person. And I'm never like out like, no, they just did me wrong and da da da. But you know, I always say my side. Like, I truly felt like I lacked boundaries. I lacked self-respect. Like, I'm never just like, this person's a bad person. Da 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 da. Almost every person I've dealt with, I was a part of the problem. Because for one, I didn't respect myself. I'm just allowing this person to tell me lies, and I know it's a lie, you know? Boundaries, like, they're overstepping the boundaries. I set a boundary, but then I'm backtracking on, you know, like, stuff like that. It's like, it starts within you, you know? People won't bullshit you if you're not going to put up with it. And I feel like the first time I put up with some bullshit, it's like the second time I get caught up in it, like, damn, like, and I feel like even for me, like, I have like FOMO of like people leaving me. Now I don't care, like, anybody could just go. But yeah, I feel like I had FOMO with that last person. Like, I had a fear of him just leaving me to the point where I was tapped out of reality, and I was just so focused on like him and what he had going on and stuff like that. But I was a part of the problem, I'm not gonna lie. Like, not what he did, but what happened to me and the pain that hit me. You know, I was a part of that pain. Like, I caused a part of that pain. I truly don't blame it on him. Like, oh, he caused me all of this and that. I've never been that person. You know how some people just be like, oh, my ex cheated on me, da da da. But people never reflect on the things that they allow, you know? Like, I reflect on the things that I allow. I don't truly just carry on like this person's a bad person and da da da. Like, people do bad things. I truly feel like you don't know when a person is a bad person, and honestly just don't deal with him. But the last person I dealt with, he wasn't a bad person. He's still not a bad person. I don't think I never thought he was a bad person. I just thought that he was a bad person that made bad decisions, you know, went about things not in a good way. And I feel like that also fell back on me because, like I said, I'm a part of the problem. I see, you know, certain areas where he lacked. I tried to pick up the pieces when in reality it's like he has to do his own self-work to fix that, you know? Like me, I know how to control my emotions. I know how to speak up. I know how to be vulnerable. And I feel like certain areas he might have lacked. And I tried to, like I said, pick up the pieces, and I tried to fill that void, you know, just so he can feel better. And, you know, because when you care for a person, you truly want to see them doing good. But it's like, at the end of the day, it takes yourself. Like, you have to do the work with yourself in order to truly, you know, become a better person and, you know, the person that you truly want to be. And I'm not this person that just is so peaceful and so, you know, like, I'm just this good person. I don't do things and that. I've led people on. I've said bad things to people. I haven't done anything bad to anybody, but I've said some things. I don't do the physicality. Like, the most I've done was said something to a person, you know, to make them feel some kind of way or something like that. But I don't do the physicality stuff. Like, I don't go on my way to, so like if I'm dealing with somebody, I don't go on my way to just be like, to disrespect the person. I'm linking with this dude and we with each other and I'm being sneaky. Like, I don't do that. The most I've said was something disrespectful. Because I feel like if I feel some kind of way, I'ma just communicate that. I've never been the person, like, I feel like since me growing up with people not understanding me, now that I'm older, I speak on how I feel every single time. Even with my job, I speak on how I feel. Like, I truly don't care. If you feel some kind of way, if you're gonna fire me, then fire me. At the end of the day, like, I never, like, I try to hold off. But like I said, when people pick at you, and they constantly do things to get you out of character, you hold off and you just hold off and you hold off. And then it's like, okay, now you're presenting the problem to the table and you're being calm. But at the same time, it's like, when you get into something, you get heated. Because people, when they don't understand you and they play stupid, it's like, what are you playing stupid for? You're a grown man. Like, at my job, specifically what I'm thinking about right now, at my job, they kept giving me a bunch of orders when I already had finished my orders. And I'm like, oh, okay, like, y'all keep adding stuff. Y'all literally keep adding stuff in my box when I've done enough. I've done enough. And I went to the manager and I told him, and I was getting heated. I'm not gonna lie, I was getting heated. Because I'm like, I held off for so long. And that's what I'm saying. Like, people will try to paint it like you're crazy when you finally blow up. But they don't never speak on how they were doing things to tick at you. Like, I don't get that. I'm not a person that just goes around doing people dirty. Like, I don't waste my time like that. I'm not going to sit there and just mess with a person just to mentally mess their head up. No, I'm not. I'm just going to leave people. I leave people alone where they want to be left at. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not out here doing the devil's work. I'm not. I don't do that. But the fact that they just kept adding that stuff on me, and I'm like, you trying to ask me to do something else, and then you want me to do that too? No, that's what we're not doing. Then it's like, they playing stupid as to who put the tickets in my bin and da-da-da-da. Like, y'all too old to be acting like this. And that's what really frustrates me, because it's like, you can come and talk to me. I'm a communicator. Like I said, I communicate. And if I feel some kind of way and I feel like you being shady, I'm going to state it. I don't care. I've never cared at a job. I've always said how I felt, because at the end of the day, people will run over top of you if you don't set shit straight. And that's a problem with me sometimes. That's a problem with me sometimes. Like, I be flaking on, like, the boundary that I set. When it's like, no, stand on that shit. Don't backtrack, stand on that shit. And that's the crazy thing. He used to, like, the dude that I was dealing with in the past, he used to be like, no, like, say what you said. And I used to have a problem with backtracking on a lot of things. And he would always be like, no, don't backtrack on what you said, stand on it. And I'm like, he be alive. That's why I'm like, I was a part of it. I'm not gonna lie, I was a part of it. I didn't do anything crazy, but I feel like with me not really taking myself seriously, like, I took myself seriously, but eventually I feel like I started to put him before me, and that had nothing to do with him, and that had all to do with me. Once I started to put him before myself, that's when I started to lose myself. I started to lose brain cells, and it's like I would just wake up wanting to see him and wanting to be around him and stuff like that. And I would just put myself to the side. I wouldn't go to the gym for real, because I just wanted to be around him. I craved him so much. And that honestly wasn't a good thing. And like I said, he used to hold me accountable for that. But it's like, I knew deep down I needed to take accountability for it, and I needed to put it into action and fix that problem, but I didn't. So I feel like another problem, like I said, it was me. I was also the problem. Like, I was a part of the problem, I'm not gonna lie. That's why I feel like when I have dealt with people in the past, I knew, like, I was a part of the problem. Once you sit there and reflect and you get out of that hurt stage, you're like, I was a part of the problem too. You know, like, the boundaries, the self-respect, it faded. It started fading. But yeah. And it's so funny because, like I said, I don't talk, like, I don't yell at people. Like, people I've dealt with, I don't yell at people. Like, I've always been a calm person. Like, I can't bring myself to yell because, like I said, I've grown. And it has taken me so much time and energy to the point where, like, you have to do a lot to get me out of character. And even if that, say, like, the last situation, right, I was in, the things that I said to him, I was only able to rage over the phone, over messages. In person, I truly can't yell at people. I can't do none of that because it's too much energy. And that's why I say, like, when I'm mad about something, I have to be mad and raging in order to do certain things. Once I come to terms and I calm down, I might forget it. Like, I really don't care. Like, it is what it is. But my rage doesn't last long. And deep down, I know, like, it ain't even worth it. So, like, half of the time, I just let it go and just let it be with God. But I've literally been praying all night, y'all. And I've been asking God to guide me with this healing. You know, I'm willing and I'm able and I'm trying to move on, and I'm in the process of moving on, because I don't want to sit there and dwell on a person, you know, that, you know, like I said, doesn't want nothing to do with me. And truly, like, it's not even just me saying that about him. It's just truly like, I know there's nothing there no more. Like, I still do love him and I still do care for him deeply, but just from a distance, you know. The love doesn't stop just because I'm just gone. And, you know, the care, it doesn't stop, because guaranteed if he would have called me today, oh, can you come pick me up from work, or I need help with this, I would come, you know. But I feel like right now, in this point in time, I have to put myself first, and I have to have more self-respect for myself, you know, to not sit there and beg a person to talk to me, to want to be with me, to want to see me, and just, you know, show up for myself. The times that I want to see him, show up for myself, hit that gym, you know. And, you know, the gym has really been a great part of this healing, because when that body looking right, that mind gets right. You know, I feel like the first step to finding yourself again and to loving yourself again is to hit the gym. And as you're hitting the gym, when you leave that gym, read that book, read your Bible, pray at night, you know, stretch, you know, give yourself a little massage after your workout, watch a little podcast and just meditate and just free your mind, and just watch a show that is really interesting to you, or do something like a puzzle, or, you know, all of that kind of stuff. Like, just take the time for yourself, and like I said, I'll be fine. Coming till November 18th is my birthday, but I do plan on going out to homecomings. So yeah, I do plan on going out to homecomings. I still don't know if I'm gonna be back on Instagram at that time. I honestly don't know. But yeah, I need to just work on myself, take the time from the social media. And like I said, just put myself first. Like, it's nothing wrong with that. And I need to stand on it. Always put myself first, no matter what the circumstances is. I don't care if somebody calls me selfish. I'm putting myself first regardless. You put yourself first, so I'm gonna put myself first. And not even just like a comparison thing. Like, I'm gonna just put myself first regardless. Like, in this life, you have to be selfish. People feel like it's wrong for you to be selfish, but it's not. And that's how I know, like, I'm truly, like, wanting to grow as a person, because usually when I'm like, oh, I'm healing and I'm trying to better myself, I still be thinking like, oh, I'm gonna find me a man that loves me. No, I don't care. Like, I'm going to be the man that loves me, okay? I'm going to be the man and the person that's going to love me, you know? I'm going to love myself. So therefore, if I do end up with somebody and I do find a person eventually, it'll just be an add-on. It'll just be an add-on. It wouldn't be me dependent on that person. You don't have nothing for me. You know what I'm saying? So whatever you do for me is a add-on. You know, that's how that's going to be. My little thumbnail. Yeah. So, I don't know. It's like I'm so happy for myself right now. One thing I will say I'm just like kind of shaky about is the fact that I'm like, oh, I got this second job, and part of me, I fuck with it, but at the same time, like, I don't know. I really don't know. That's why I'm like, I do fuck with that job, but I wanna. The hours are crazy. I don't know. It's like 12 to 8. I don't be doing nothing, but at the same time, I don't know, y'all. I feel like right now I just have to be grateful and, you know, be thankful that I do have a first and second job, because it was at one point in time I was looking for a second job for so long, and, you know, nobody was hiring or whatever. But yeah, I feel like if I do find me another second job, it needs to be a job before these college people start coming back. Because, like, the area I live in, it's a college, like, 20 minutes away from me, and then, like, 15, 20 minutes that way and then it's like one literally right here. So like, you know, the college people aren't back, so I really need to figure out what my second job will be or whatever. So, but yeah, I feel like instead of blaming people for what they've done to you, look within yourself and figure out how you were also the problem, you know? Like, I'm not saying allow a person to manipulate you into thinking you were the problem, but it all starts within, you know what I'm saying? What you accept and what you allow will open the door for the craziest shit, you know, to happen to you. So yeah, I say just, you know, instead of blaming people for what they've done to you, look within yourself and see what issues you have within yourself and take the time for yourself. Because I feel like a lot of people nowadays just hop into the next. And it's just like, you got to heal. You got to take the time for yourself to reflect. You don't want to keep going through the same things, because that's like years passing by. Say like 2018, I went through a heartbreak. And then 2022, I'm going through the same thing because I'm just willing to allow myself to be stagnant. No, I want to grow. I want to prosper. I want to move on. I want to live my life. You know, like, life is not promised. You know, like, this is not promised. Like, one day you could just wake up and be gone, you know. So I say, like, do what you need to do for yourself at the end of the day. And the best thing for you to do is to take the time for yourself to find the root of the problem. If you're going through the same situation, it's you, you know. It's what you allow and what you accept. You know, you can't keep blaming these people for what they've done when you've allowed so much. You know, you've taken a step back on your boundaries, on your self-respect. You're just allowing this person to do whatever they please. So they're going to do whatever they please because you're allowing it. And that's even for me. Like I said, the person I was with, he's not a bad person. And I truly do wish him the best. And I do miss him dearly. But I hope that he finds a person that, you know, is willing to hear him out and, you know, care for him and love for him. I'm sure he's going to, if he really fucks with you, I'm sure he's going to reciprocate the energy. I feel like he just has to take the time for himself to really accept that in order to not get hurt, you just have to set boundaries. You know, just like with me, I feel like he also felt like I was probably, you know, out to get him and I was too good to be true or whatever. But it's like, you know, there are genuine people out here and not everybody's out here to get you and, you know, treat you horribly and stuff like that. But like I said, it all starts within. If you feel like this is going to end, then this is going to end, because that's self-sabotaging. You know, I used to be big on self-sabotage. I used to just overthink my way out of things. I used to just sabotage things before they even got far. And I would regret it because I'm like, dang, like, why am I allowing myself to get in my thoughts and in my head when it's like, just allow it, you know? Like, in the midst of it, set boundaries, you know? Do what you need to do. Don't allow a person to run over top of you, and you'll be fine. You'll be A-okay, and it'll be 10 times better to walk away from something when you know that you set the record straight. So the fuck shit, it was going to happen if he did it. You know what I'm saying? Not because you allowed it, not because you just kept taking that person back. They just, that's truly who they are. They just showed their true colors. But yeah, take the time for yourself and to really, like, reflect on your life. And a lot of the times you're stagnant because of you. And even for me, I'm saying this to myself. Like, everything I'm saying to y'all, I'm saying to myself. Like, a lot of times we feel stagnant because we're in our heads, when in reality it's just like, just do it. Just do it. Yeah, so, you know, once you realize, like, the overthinking definitely kills, you'll just let it go. Like, I stopped overthinking about the situation that I was in, and I stopped overthinking about him thinking I'm a bad person, and, you know, just painting myself as a bad person because I said some bad things because of the actions that were, you know, towards me, and, you know, what happened that caused me pain because I was a part of it. I stopped blaming myself because I'm just like, it is what it is. Like, I'm accepting it for what it is. I can't keep, like, I don't carry on with life just painting myself to be this victim when I'm not a victim. Like, I truly am a part of the problem, and I'm truly willing to accept that. And I'm truly willing to take full accountability for a lot of the things that have happened. Because, like I said, if you allow something once and you don't set that boundary and you don't stand on it, it'll happen again and again and again. And then you'll be like, dang, like, this person did this, but in reality, it's you. You're the problem. People only do what you allow at the end of the day. But like I said, work on yourself, figure out what you're doing, and it'll be a-okay. And like I said, at the end of the day, you gotta love yourself, love yours, right? Love yourself, build your confidence up, hit that gym, gain that weight or lose that weight, tone up, eat your food, eat your veggies, your protein, your starch, you know, read that book, get that peace of mind, and you'll be totally fine. You'll be totally fine. But yeah, y'all, it is what it is. Yeah, so I'm gonna end this video off right here. I feel like this was a good video because I actually was like passionately talking. Usually my head is all over the place, I'm stuttering and I have to restart, but I did 20 minutes, so y'all better appreciate this. I know a few people was telling me like, oh, that I need to post, and I just haven't had anything to talk about because I've been so stuck on like the social media apps. But now I'm tapping into reality. I'm just living life and I'm really experiencing the good things and the bad things. But yeah, I've been sitting in my car. My car is definitely on E. I need to fill my gas tank up, but I'll probably do that in the morning because that's enough gas to get me to work. But I'm not tripping. Yeah, I'm not tripping. I feel like I'm really coming to terms and I'm accepting that it is what it is, and I'm willing to move on, to be happy, to, you know, find myself, not to find better, but to find a better me. You know, I'm here, but it's a lot of things that I need to work on. And like I said also too, I've said this in the past video, you don't truly have to be healed to deal with a person. You don't truly have to be healed. You need to work on what you need to work on, and in the midst of that, I feel like the right people will help you with certain things. The right people will also show you certain things also too. But yeah, like I said, it all starts within. So before you try to play the victim card, see what you have done. It may not be as bad as them. It may not be that person cheating on you, or that person went to Magic City or something like that. That's crazy because I remember my coworker telling me something about Magic City. But yeah, why is this car put it right there? But yeah, what you allow, a person's gonna do. If you allow it and allow it and allow it, and you allow that person to overstep that boundary, because like I said, you have to be the one to set the boundary. People will run over top of you as much as you allow it, but once you set that boundary and you stand firm on it, you'll be totally fine. You'll be totally fine. But yeah, at the end of the day, like I said, put yourself first. You know, all you got is yourself, despite of, you know, your family and whatnot, but all you have is yourself. You go to sleep, is you and your brain and your thoughts and your mind and all of that. So take that into account. Take that into account. I'm truly loving life because, I don't know, I feel like it's nothing better than just taking accountability. It lifts a weight off of your shoulder. You know, I never was running around like playing that victim card, but I was just like, dang, like, why did those things happen? But when I look within myself, I realized like it's because I allowed certain things. I just didn't stand firm on what I believed in, and you know what I'm saying? Like I said, I was a part of the problem, but like I said, I am, you know, happier, and I'm gonna start reading my book. And I feel like when we get in these modes of like wanting to heal and wanting to do better with our lives, I feel like this should be a repeated thing. It shouldn't just be a thing when, you know, things get tough and things get hard. And even with talking to God, like, I feel like back then I used to only talk to God when things were getting crazy. But I feel like despite of, you know, with it, something good happening and something bad happening, I feel like you should always pray to God and you should talk to God, because yeah, that's a must. That's honestly a must. Yeah, it shouldn't just be when you're needy and, you know, you need something. It should just be like every day, like pray before you go to bed and stuff like that. Like, I've been trying to get back in that habit. I've just been laying down and watching TV. But like I said, despite of it all, we're gonna be okay. We're gonna be fine. I look crazy. I literally, like I said, got out the pool and I look crazy, but I'm still the shit. Okay, did it pause? Okay.